Hey, hello, guys. Did you guys get a chance to have a break? Okay, so I did. I had a break and I was looking at the time and I was like, do I have time to run and get something to eat or no? So I said, you know what? The budget minded me because you know that I am a financial coach. Said, you better go in there and eat something at home. And I found some fruit and some apple juice. So I am refreshed and recharged and ready to go. But guess what, guys? Woo! Have you been enjoying this summit? Guess what? The next two speakers are fire. Okay. I know firsthand. I know y'all like, she know everybody. But look, I stay connected, right? The effective living is a community, it's a village. And the next two speakers, I just did an event with them. I'm super excited, man. So, hey, first things first, for those of you that are just joining, just jumping on, I'm Brady Robinson of Robinson Empowerment Group. Hey, see my shirt. Of Robinson Empowerment Group. I am a budget coach. I am a motivational speaker. I am a radio personality. I am an author. Hey guys, I am here to just make sure that everybody is paying attention, alert, staying connected. So, few things, and I'll go ahead and tell you who our next guest will be. Hey, remember to drop your churches in the link. Where are you from? What church are you representing? I need to know who's here, who's still watching, because you don't want to miss any of these sessions, which brings me to the next point. If you happen to miss some of the sessions, and if you did, shame on you, because that was me yesterday. But guess what? I went back and caught up on them. And you can do that as well on YouTube with Effective Living with Ricardo, okay? You can catch up on all the sessions. We're broadcasting it there. Remember, guys, to put your questions in the chat. Remember also to use hashtag influencers 2020, hashtag influencer summit. Okay. So we're going to do that. Check in. I need to know who's here. I need to know who's here. Say something, because guess what? While they're talking, I'm watching the comments and I need to know. We only get better with communication and feedback. So, hey guys, if you're liking this, if you are liking the way I'm moderating, hit your girl up. Let me know. We all need encouragement because we're working so hard for this influencer summit. Now, today has been power packed. We had Carol Crockett. We had Miss Angela Marks. Man, we had Sherry Chester. I mean, the boys. We had Herb Ford. We had Keno McCartney. We had Nathaniel. We had Antoine. We had all these great people. So, hey, it has not stopped. It's only getting better and better and better. We're building and building and building. So, okay, let me tell you who it is, because you guys know that I could just talk forever, and we're not going to do that today. So we have the next guest that's coming up with us. It's going to be Anastasia and Deborah. Okay. And let me tell you a little bit. I just did a platform with them guys and it was amazing. We talked to some of the young men, and Deborah has a wonderful, wonderful platform. She's also an author. Her name is Deborah Smith. And she is a wife, she is a mother, she is an author, she is a life coach, a speaker, and an ordained minister. She believes that it is better to train early than to fix later. Woo, that's good right there. Better to train early than to fix. Come on now, that'll preach. Now she also graduated summa cum laude, earning her bachelor's degree in business administration from Florida State College at Jacksonville. She actually lives in Jacksonville, Florida. Her and her husband have been blessed with 4 children, guys. They have 4 children. So she has some experience and some knowledge. Also, let me give you a little bit about Anastasia. I did a platform with her. I'm excited for her. I know that she does have a biz. She just started her business. Anastasia's sweet. I met her last year at the Bahamas. I was really excited. She's a sweetheart. Remember, she was there last year. This year, she is coming with a bang. I've heard her speak. I've heard her talk. So, guys, get your pen and paper out. She is a mother. She teaches. Miss Anastasia has pursued her career in education. She started out as a kindergarten teacher at First Step Academy, and she has just progressed from there. She desires to not only speak, but speak well. And after visiting different clubs and just making them better, she gives her all to the youth. Guys, this is about to be good. I hope that you refreshed yourself from your break. Get your pen and paper out, because you know we dropping nuggets, right? Content is loaded, man. Get your paper. Don't miss out. Let's go ahead and bring them on. Ladies, are you ready? So for real, no, we recently did a forum with Deborah, okay? We did a forum with Deborah. We did me and Anastasia. It was great. Man, the chemistry. We all fed off each other. It was so much there. I really enjoy working with these ladies. Y'all sit back. Let's get started. I get excited when I see my girls. Okay. I'm going to let you guys take it. I'll be back at the end. This is all you ladies. Go ahead.
All right, thank you. I am so excited. I thank Coach Ricardo Miller for asking me to be on this wonderful platform. I have just been overwhelmed with all the expertise that we have seen so far, the great speakers. This is my first year, and I am super excited. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I am ready. All right, we'll get started here. My niche is to help young men. You know, the world would have us to think that our young men are just the worst that the world has ever seen. And that's just not true. Our young men just need us to teach them while they are young, because if we don't teach them while they are young, they will destroy. But there are wonderful high school males and young adult males out there. They have lots of talent and inspiration. They want to do well, but they need us influencers to what? Help them along the way. They are ready. They want to do better. And so we are here, and we hope that the information that we give you today will assist you in assisting them to be the best that they can be. And that's what it's all about. And it's my passion. As you heard, my husband and I have a blended family. We have three sons and one daughter. So I have been there with the males, and I know the types of obstacles that they came up on them, even though that their lives were, I'll say normalized pretty much. But just think about all those that have obstacles from the day that they are born, and they carry that with them all the time, because a lot of times they don't let go of things. Things happen when they are younger, then something else may happen later on, and it just builds up on them until you have all this weight on them, and then it comes out in different forms. So, they have to get the help. Do you agree, Anastasia?
I absolutely agree. It is important for us to teach our young men from infancy the importance that they hold in our culture, and in our countries, the importance that they have in the lives of not themselves, but the people around them. They need to understand their worth and understand that they are valuable and they are irreplaceable.
Exactly. Now, in building my platform, Build Your Best Life, and I know in speaking with Anastasia, she has lots of statistics in her platform, Be Becoming. And we want to give you some of those main obstacles that we have found that plague our young men. Now, one of those is the lack of education. So though, a lot of people talk education, funding is supposedly increasing every year for education, we still have what I consider a high dropout range. Now, in the United States, dropout range ranges from 10.1 to 4.3, with the African Americans being at 6.5, while the dropout rate in the Bahamas ranges from 10 to 6 as well. And there's in the Bahamas is based on, according to the research that I did, is based on income level. But some people may look at those percentages and say, oh well, we're doing better. Yes, we are doing better, but I think we can do so much better. We need to have everyone having that opportunity to complete their education. Because sometimes if they come from lower income families or what have you, then they feel like, if I have to make a choice to go to school or to help my family, so which do I do? And they may tend to help their family. So we need the government stepping it up so that we can step it up, so that we can help them in that area of education. Another obstacle is a lot of our young men have come from low income families. That sometimes that has a stigma on people because, the world is cruel and people tend to want to bully people. So I go to school and my clothes may not look like your clothes. That doesn't make me any less of a person. But some people will look at me and say, oh yeah, that's a pushover right there. I can bully her. And so that causes what? A whole nother obstacle. A lot of our young men come from single parent homes. I know that that's an obstacle that some look at as an obstacle, but it can be overcome. And that's not really, it's not really a barrier. I was a single mom at a time. And we just have to step it up as women to do the extra to ensure that our children are getting what they need. But, society wants to label you if you're a single parent. But many of you out there know, as influencers, we can get it done. Right? Then you have the absentee father, lack of a father figure. This has been said to lead to suicide. And suicide is a big stigma that we'll talk about later. But again, we know many fathers that are strong male figures. They raise their girls and boys, but we're talking about males right now. They raise them to be strong, educated, and the best that they can be. So we cannot always let society, talk everything down and make everything negative, because it's not. And Anastasia, look, you chime in whenever.
Oh, I entirely agree with you, Ms. Smith. What we have been doing so far has not been enough, if I can put it as sweetly, but as straightly as possible. It hasn't been enough. We have not placed enough focus on our young men to encourage them to become the older men and the responsible members of society that we would like for them to be. In church, we speak to them about being the head of the household generally. We speak to them about the responsibilities generally. But from what I've seen and what I've noticed, it has not been impressed upon them in a way that makes them feel their importance and their value at that young age. We tell them about men. We tell them about when they are adults, what they're supposed to do. But we're not telling them how to build their best lives and how to start at 7, at 9, and taking care of their sisters and taking care of their other siblings, taking care of their parents. Parents need help too. And growing into the men that we want them to become. And I think that may be the disconnect that's happening nowadays. We are not approaching it at a young enough level for them to understand their value and their worth now and see themselves as growing into the men that we want them to be.
Yes, I agree. Awesome. Excuse me. Excuse me. And some of the other obstacles that we came up with, learning disabilities. You know, a lot of times they have disabilities, but parents want to maybe not mention it. And in order for them to be successful and to get the help they need, the educators and everyone needs to know what they are working with. But it has, kind of like stigmatized some of our young men because they've had maybe learning disabilities, but they weren't recognized, so they did not get the help that they needed. And, maybe they're dyslexic, or they're not, they may even need glasses, and nobody knows they need glasses. So then they have problems reading. So then they get labeled, oh, they just have a learning disability. No, they don't. They need glasses. So that's why healthcare is also important, for everyone to have, and to get everyone the help that they need so that they can have the same opportunities that everyone has. You can't expect person A to advance the same way person B has when person A has the health care, they have the funds, they have the scholarships, they have all of these things. And then person B, they don't have all of these things. So they're trying to be the best that they can, but their hands are like tied because they don't have fundamentally all those things that they need in order to assist them in being better. Okay. And when people have disabilities or they have issues with things, like, even as adults, we go and say, oh, my eyesight, I'm having problems seeing. And we don't want to say, I'm getting a little seasoned, I might need to get the reading glasses. So what happens, that causes young people to get socially awkward. So, it looks like there's an issue going on, but because they don't have the glasses, then they're awkward. Someone wants them to read, and it's like they're shy or being introverted because they don't want to speak up or have whatever. And then you have all these social labels, people can be so cruel. I don't know, it's so easy to be nice to others and loving, because in the last, I would say, month or two, I have met so many nice people and people that are willing to help, like Brady, Billy, Anastasia, just many people, Nathaniel, Keno. Everybody's just friendly, willing to help. But then you find other people, it seems like they wake up to be mean and say nasty things, not knowing that hurts people. Oh, you know what? You know good. You're going to be just like your daddy. You're not going to turn out to be anything. You just dumb. Your mama didn't finish school. You're not going to finish school. That, some people have tough skin and they can take it. Others, that make them act out. And then, that's when they start doing things like joining gangs, or, where I need to take a weapon to school with me because I don't want people talking about me. But social labels do hurt. I don't care what anybody says. And we used to say, what words you say don't hurt. Only sticks and stones hurt. Well, words do hurt. And they can linger inside for years and years and years and fester and make you worse. Or make you, feel bad about yourself.
I believe that the sticks and stones may break my bones, words will never hurt me. That has been thrown away and taken. I don't know how it is that we, myself included, would be so okay with and so accepting of such a saying. Just because it was popular doesn't mean that it was right, because words do hurt, like you say. And the church is a place of expected acceptance. And so when it is that we as leaders do not welcome with open arms, with open hearts, and in a spirit of love, the differences that makes these children and these youths the individuals that they are, and makes them the person that they are, then it becomes harder for them to expect or to even see acceptance in the outside world. When they go into their school environments, it's a lot harder because there is not that love expected even in school. There is not that love expected when they go to the grocery store and things like that, and they're out in society with whomever else they may be around. But when it is that they are in their homes and they are in their churches and in the direct company of their educator and their mentor, they expect that love to be the first thing. And along with love comes that acceptance and that open heart that should allow them to be the different people that they are and to have the differences and not feel so uncomfortable to the point that they would be looking for that acceptance in the wrong directions.
Oh, I agree. And you said something very powerful. You have to have that acceptance. Yes. Excuse me. And I also want to talk about like social disorders. Research does show that globally, 25% of all suicides in the world, guess what age group they are? 15 to 24-year-olds. And then suicide is the fourth highest cause of death among males aged 15 to 19 worldwide. That is just too high. Influencers, we have got to get to work. We have got to get to work and find out ways that we can build up this low self-esteem, get different associations or whatever to assist our youth, more positive places. You know, I know in every city there are some organizations that help, but as many as we can get, we need, because it appears to get worse and worse every year instead of getting better. I was doing some research for speech and found that in my own state, in my own city, we're known as the murder capital of the world. I mean, that's just not the thing you want to be known for. So that's just how close it is to home. And having the sons, I guess it just builds up my passion, and being around youth from church, children's church. I taught children's church for years and years and years. So I'm used to being around the kids. I've always loved kids, and I want to see them all do the best that they can. So I just have that passion that we just got to step up and do everything that we can to assist them.
You're right. I believe that one of the reasons that the suicide rate is so high and there's so much of it is because both young men and young women, they don't feel that they have a way out. If they've already turned in one direction, another direction, a third direction, and they did not get the results that they were expecting, or they weren't their opinion weren't valued, or their life wasn't valued to the point where they in themselves have a renewed sense that they want to continue on, that they want to continue to fight through the circumstance or the situation that has brought them to the point of thinking that they would want to lose their life, or that their life isn't going to get any better from that point, or the world would be a better place without them, then it becomes very difficult later on, because that child's life, that person's life was not in vain. And so the purpose that they had in their lives may die along with them. And it's important for us to let them see that and to let them know that there is a purpose. As long as you're going to bed every night and you're waking up, then that means that there's a continued purpose for your life. If you have not died of natural causes, or, you know, we would say, what is it? The word escapes me. But kind of like what Final Destination was. But if it is that we don't have a situation like that where your life is just taken away from you, we should encourage them not to just give it away. We should encourage them to find enough value in it that they should want to hold on to it, and they should want to nourish it, and that whatever the situation is, they're going to get past it and they're going to get beyond it eventually. And as the influencers, the persons that are in their lives who help to keep them on the straight and narrow and to get them in the direction that they need to be, we should be the ones to help them along that way. And by building relationships with them, we get them to the point where we are aware of their mental state, and then also we are able to help them through it.
Yes. That is so true, Anastasia. And I applaud, I think you're an educator, but I just applaud all of you educators because it takes so much to make them better. So I just applaud you. I love it. So those are a lot of the major obstacles. I know there are many, many more, but those were some of the ones that we wanted to point out. But I always say, as they travel along the road to building a better life, they are going to run into those obstacles, but pitfalls, rough terrain, detours, and distractions. But they can't let those things stop them. They have to slow down, reset their path, and get around whatever it is so that they can be the best that they are to build their best lives. I truly believe that. And one of the things that I do focus on is basic principles, because I think basic principles are universal. They don't change and they don't go away. I don't think they are taught in the home. I can't say that they're not taught at school, but what we see, I would think they may not be as they were years ago. But I do believe that basic principles are foundational for everyone to succeed in life. And even though the world is evolving and many things are changing, we got all the social media, the technology, and things just, from one day to the next, they, change immediately, because up until 2 days ago, I had not even heard of StreamYard. So that's just how quickly, things change. But those basic principles do not. I don't think they do. They remain constant.
Definitely. I see that in your book, Building Your Best Life, I noted chapter 7, and it was so valuable to me. I believe that the topic was steps in decision making. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that definitely stood out to me, because I saw that you spoke about their dash, the time between their birth and death, and the importance of it. And that chapter brought me to 4 other things that I would like to share with the other influencers, and I would like for you guys to hold on to it tightly and try to implement it in your everyday when dealing with particularly our young men. Because the first thing that we would want for them to do is learn how to listen to their gut. Instinct, intuition, fifth sense, whatever it is that you want to name it, whatever you want to call it at the time, we need to tell them to trust themselves, teach them how to trust themselves. A lot of times when it is that they are taught something from young, and I've seen this time and time again in children's ministry, we teach them things, we give them the biblical roots, we show them through videos and role plays and scenarios of the things that they should do when they're approached with different situations. But when they get to the situation, it is them, whoever else is around, and God. and they're going to have to make the decisions for themselves. And so we have to teach them to trust that small voice inside of them that is telling them to do the right thing. Now, in our church, we would usually tell them, listen, that still small voice is the Holy Spirit. He's speaking to you, and you have to be still, and you have to have an ear to hear. And that's how you're going to get your guidance, and you're going to get your resolution as to what it is that you're meant to do. And it's by teaching them to listen to their gut and listen to that still small voice that'll help them to remember and realize that they always have somebody with them. Even when they are standing alone, they have their back against the wall and only the situation in front of them, there's always someone with them. And on top of that, they're going to have to set goals for their lives. If at 7, 9, 4, you're teaching them and instilling in them to make decisions, to set goals for themselves, it teaches them, it builds as they go older. The small decisions that they make now, okay, this week I'm determined to save $5 out of my lunch money. Just as simple as telling them, okay, this is your goal, how are you going to achieve it? Teach them how to take steps. Okay, if I save $1 a day, then that gets me to my goal easily. $5, end of the week, that was easy. If I miss Monday and I didn't save my dollar on Monday, then I have to adjust my steps. That may mean that I may have to save $1.25 for the other days, or I could just save $2 on Tuesday and still save $1 on the other days. But we have to teach them how to set goals and how to take the steps to achieve those goals. The second thing would be for them to weigh out their pros and cons. Okay, if my goal is to get $5 at the end of the week, my pro would be I got $5 at the end of the week. My con would be each day that I'm taking $1 out of my lunch money, it shortens my spending ability for that day. I may have wanted 2 chips, a cookie, and a juice, but now I'm not able to do all of that. I have to get just 1 chip, 1 cookie, 1 juice in order for me to reach that goal. We cannot let them think that, okay, you have a goal and you're gonna get it and life is gonna be great and bam, that's it. No, they have to understand the steps. And along with understanding the steps, they have to understand that there will be pros and there will be cons. There's gonna be those things that are gonna push you forward, and there are gonna be those things that'll make you wanna stop. And they're gonna make you wanna stand in place and rethink this goal and rethink this decision that you made. But as long as they know that this is a decision and it is a goal that is positive, it is a goal that will help them in the long run, it is a goal that will bring joy to their lives, we have to teach them how to stick with things. They don't have stickability these days, and it's a part of them not sticking with anything is because they're not taught from the beginning that there are gonna be steps. And Miss Deborah, and I know you got a part inside there, I remember.
Right. Yeah, they have to, when it's in setting those goals and weighing those pros and cons, it's important for them to, write them down, make sure that they have them somewhere, and then make sure that they're SMART goals so that they're specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and a time base. Because if they just throw those things out there that they're going to do something, if they don't have measurements around those, then it's just words out of their mouth, like the words and the actions. So my decisions have to be based off what I've said. And then I have to show my actions. So those goals need to be, I say not set in cement, but something flexible so they can change, because they can change from time to time. But, it doesn't help them if they come up to say with your scenario, it's trying to save $1 per day. If their parents only give them 50 cents, then it wouldn't be realistic for them to say, okay, I'm going to save $1 every day. You know? So that's why they have to make sure that it makes sense. It can be done. And then I'm going to go after it and do it. So,
Right.
yeah.
So that would be the first one would be listen to your gut. The second would be weigh your pros and cons. The third would be seek advice. It has not been very easy in times past for men to seek advice. And I know that there may be some reactions out there. There may be some responses out there to that one. But let's think about it. What has been the #1 running joke about men since manuals started coming in the TV stand? What's your joke? Men don't follow directions. They are lost on the road, convinced that they know where they're going, but will not stop and ask directions. This has been a time-honored joke, man. I'm sorry, there's nothing that we can do about it. It's still funny. But what we want to do is to change it for the ones coming up behind. We have to teach them that it's okay to ask questions. It is okay to have a difference of opinion with somebody. And it is most definitely needed for you to seek advice. Coach Ricardo always says that what you're paying for when you get a coach is you're paying for their experience. You're paying not to fall into the pits and to hit the same bumps and the same walls that they've hit to gain the experience that they have. So that's what you're paying for when you have a coach. And us influencers, we are the next generation's coach. We are the ones that are helping to guide them through. We are their Siri. We are their GPS. We're the ones to tell them, to try and show them and get them to follow the path that we're putting out for them to go left, right, or straight. And so we have to make them comfortable to come to us and to ask us things and not feel that they're going to be put into a box or they're going to be shouted at or they're going to be made fun of for what it is that they're asking us about or their difference of opinion. So that would be the third. And the fourth would be to stay focused. What we need for them to do and what we need for them to know is that each decision that they make, even at this point in their life, should be a decision that has an end result toward their goal. If they want to be a politician, and we spoke about this the other day, if they want to be a politician, they have to understand that, okay, my life is going to be digged up. There's going to be a lot of mudslinging. That D that I got in 8th grade, someone is going to try and pull that up. All of those steps that you've taken from, we wouldn't say infancy, but the steps that you've been taking from, let's say, high school. I think high school would be a fair age range, a fair period in your life, that teenage life where you are coming into making your own decisions and you're not so concerned with what it is your parents want for you to do and you're developing your own opinion. If you have your goals set previous to then the steps that you're taking even in high school, after high school, career paths, company that you keep, those decisions should all be focused toward your goal. That's correct, Miss Deborah?
That's right. That's right. Yep. That's one of the things I used to always tell my sons is that, whatever you do, think before you make those decisions. And those decisions are going to direct your actions because you never know where you want to go in life, what you want to do. So like you said, politics, president of the United States, lawyer, whatever you do, it's not an eraser that you can erase life, So it will be there, and believe me, your opponents will pull it all up. So you hit it.
Yeah. So those have been the 4 points that I've taken from Miss Deborah's book. That would be listen to your gut. Let's teach our boys to listen to their gut, to follow that instinct, and listen to that fifth sense, to weigh out the pros and cons, to think about what it is that's going to go right with their goal, but also the things that's going to go wrong. It's possible to go wrong, and to still be focused on it anyways. To seek advice, whether it is from us, whether it's from their parents, as long as it is from somebody that's feeding and pouring into them positively. Help them to identify the positive voices in their lives and the persons to seek advice from. And 4, stay focused. The steps and the movements and the maneuvers that they make from this point on should all be focused toward the achievement of their goal. Now, I noticed that in your book, Building Your Best Life, you made reference to persons like Martin Luther King and Steve Jobs and Barack Obama and Tyler Perry. All of these people had different ways that they've gone from smaller decisions that drew all the way up to life-changing events and having effects on millions and millions of people around them. Do you want to get into that a little bit more?
Sure. Yes, and those are some of the people that I mentioned: the Steve Jobs, and how he started Apple, and Martin Luther King. But I was just thinking about this today. I'm going to talk about Tyler Perry for a little while. He has all this talent within him, and he started out with all those obstacles years ago. His life, the way he came up, those negative things that happened to him, those naysayers and the negative things and labels they put in his life. But God had given him a talent, and then he had those skills, and he continued to work with those. And every day is not going to be a sunshine day. That's why we have different seasons. He went through a real rough time, and the reason why I put him in there as far as decisions is because he came to a point in his life where he just hit bottom, and he was homeless. So he could have very easily said, you know what? Enough of this stuff. I don't want to live in my car. I'm just going to go to corporate America and just go to work for them. I'm not going to do this. But he knew that the talent that he had and the things that he wanted to see done in life, and he made that decision to keep going. And he started with his plays. He went to movies. And what was it, like 2 years ago? He built his own studio. I mean, how great is that? And when I wrote my book, it was interesting. He was a multimillionaire. He was up to $600 million, his net worth. I looked the other day. Hey, he is a billionaire, based on his decision to take his talents and keep working on them and do. And I think another important reason why he has done so well, because he has a giving heart. He tries to help other people when they're down. And, it's not all for me. And if you listen to his plays, I know some people may not like him, but if you ever listen to his plays and his movies, he always has a genuine story that helps people. But he has that heart, and he does go out and help people. So he's a billionaire today because of those decisions that he decided to make years ago. So it does make a difference.
And influencers, we want to charge you with this challenge to remember how important your decisions are, your decisions as to how it is you speak to your kids, how it is you handle your kids, the emotion, attitude, demeanor that you approach your children with. Let's be careful in our address. And then I want to also charge you and challenge you to encourage your children, particularly your boys, your young men, to realize the importance of their decisions, to realize the importance of setting goals, to realize the importance of staying focused, and also to realize that their lives have worth, meaning, and they are not alone in this world. Even when it is they are alone physically, they are not alone spiritually. Ms. Deborah, do you want to give everyone an opportunity to reach out to you? Let everyone know how you are reachable?
Sure. The best way to reach me is via my website, which is www.buildyourbestlife.org. That's www.buildyourbestlife.org. So I thank you for that, Anastasia. You can find out more about Build Your Best Life, all about what I do, our calendar of events, anything that you want to do to step up and assist. I appreciate it. My web store is out there, so my book is available on my website. But by all means, influencers, please step it up. And I wrote something when Miss Carol Crockett was closing out today. She just really inspired me. That's another person that I have met and has come very close to. So I don't know how much time we have left, but I want to leave this with everybody, and it's from the Letters of Influence. And I say, we must influence them to want to be better, nurture them. Young men need affection. Faith is their substance. They need that faith. Love on them. We talked about words and actions. It's one thing to tell them that you love them, but you have to show them that you love them. Useful tools to develop themselves and to develop ourselves, the influencers. This summit was an excellent tool for us to develop ourselves so that we can be a help to them. Equip them to be better. Never put off talking to them. Sometimes we get so busy in life and someone comes up to you, your child or a neighbor or someone that your child goes to school with, and can I talk to you for a minute? Oh, well, now I have to, and you put them off. Never put them off, because you may be saving a life. Cultivate an atmosphere that you will draw them nearer to you. When my sons were in school, when their friends were in the car, I played their music. I tried to have fun with them or whatever, take them out for pizza, Cokes or whatever, so they felt like they could talk to me, and it worked. Some of his friends would come to me when they would not go to their parents. So we have to cultivate that atmosphere. And the last thing, equip them to embark on their own lives and their own journey as they try to be better, to build their best lives.
Hello, guys. You are wonderful. Thank you for that information. I love what you were saying. You guys were saying about Tyler Perry. It's so funny that you mentioned that, because I actually just watched a YouTube clip on him, and he was saying just how he got started, things like that. But I love how you guys are reaching out to the youth and talking about the budgeting and the different platforms that you have. That is so important. We have to reach our young men and our young women, especially our young men, because if they're going to be head of the household, here's the thing. What's kind of unfortunate is they're thrust into these roles and they have no training or examples of how to do it. So that's when we're left with a system of men, or maybe broken men, and they, in all fairness, they're not seeing the examples. But as children's ministry leaders and women of cloth and women of the faith, we are put here for these different platforms so that we can express and extend the tools and training that they can use in everyday life. Of course, nobody can be completely trained on how to be an adult or this and that. It comes with experience, but we can help you stay some steps. And that's what this summit is about. Guys, you guys were on fire. Anastasia, you did a great job. Deborah, you did a wonderful job. Me and Deborah got some stuff going on in November. Look for it.
Hey.
Don't forget to get your book if you haven't. Check out her website at Build Your Best Life. Hey guys, we are about to take a quick break. The thing is, yeah, I started it. I'm just like the time is going so fast. Come on,
Time
coach.
flies when you're having
Come
fun.
on, coach. We having fun and we learning stuff. Don't be cussing. No, just so, but Anastasia, you did great, honey, and you look wonderful, darling. So I love being on the screen. Yes, I love being on the screen with them too because they make me better. I like to be around people that bring me up and make me better. I know when them ladies on the screen, I got to all the way up. Not only that, but we look good serving the Lord. We look good by delivering valuable content. It's so much more to it than what we look. But hey, let's at least make it pleasing to the eye. Maybe it's received a little better, right?
Yes,
There you go.
ma'am. That's right.
Hey guys, I was checking out the chat while y'all were talking. We had some great questions. We had some great information in there. Before we break off into our sessions, let's see here. They Anastasia, you got a lot of shout outs. Deborah, you got a lot of shout outs. They were asking for y'all's information, but you did go over that. So we'll drop that in the chat as well because they were asking how to contact you guys. So don't miss your opportunity, honey. That's what this summit is about, right? When we leave here, we're gonna be bigger and better, baby. That platform is growing, baby. I'm claiming it by faith. Yes, it is. So, hey guys, we are about to take a quick break. You got 9 minutes. 9 minutes. Okay. So I know for me, let me tell you what I did on my last break. I ran and I made me some fajita nachos because I didn't have time to run and get anything. So hey, I'm good to go. I'm full. Y'all, it's going all day. Okay. I'm gonna leave you right here. Don't forget, come back into the Influencer Summit room so you can catch the next session. The next session starts at 2:00, right? I'm going to turn it over to someone else, but I'll be back with you. So don't cry. I'm coming back. Enjoy your break. It's your girl, Brady from Robinson's Empowerment Group. Hey, handling all of your budget and needs. If you need me, reach out to me, but I'll see you guys later. Enjoy your break.